Greetings from the sky. It's the YouTube guy. Hey guys, I'm going to do a voiceover overdub for today because I need to talk about a few things. Lately, my financial situation has been getting to a point where I'm concerned that I might have to sell the mountain bike, so I'm selling some other things to survive these doldrums, like my secondary camera and probably my BMX bike, stuff like that.
Oh no, they cut it.
Mainly just trying to avoid the selling of the mountain bike itself. And ultimately, if I do have to sell the mountain bike, it's, not a big deal. Just recover financially after that, and then probably get a cheaper mountain bike, just like a giant used or secondhand, and then kind of go from there. But ideally, don't even want to go through that, so I thought of a plan to try to avoid that and offset the cost of things. And the kind of weird idea that I thought of to do this is to basically do like crowdfunded mountain biking lessons in a way, because every now and again somebody kind of implies that I could do mountain bike lessons, but for a variety of reasons I don't want to do quote unquote mountain biking lessons. But as you know, I still typically like to help people. So I think a good compromise between those situations would be setting up this kind of crowdfunded payment thing where anybody can pay any amount, and then everybody is able to schedule lessons as much as they want. So as opposed to the very rigid and unfun concept of scheduling a certain amount of time with a certain amount of money, and it's only a certain methodology of teaching, this would just be anybody can pay anything, and this of course means that free is an option. I'm not really turning anybody down, just trying to put myself in a situation where I can keep the mountain bike, and then the lessons can be anything from solo lessons to group lessons to ultimately you just paying me to film you so you can have cool clips for your Instagram. I don't really care what it is. It's really just mountain bike riding. And again, you don't have to be the one paying for it. And that's another thing that I like, is that there's a variety of issues. I mean, some people wouldn't be able to afford it and don't want to put money towards the idea of mountain bike lessons. Then other people, maybe they can afford it, but they're skilled and they don't want to necessarily pay for mountain bike. They don't feel like they need it. So really, we're just talking about riding your mountain bike, and it's kind of like those YouTuber guys do group rides. That's really cool. Not really my thing. I'm more of an introvert. I like riding with one person, two people, three people, and then being able to actually spend time and help those people. So similar concept, but just different execution. The biggest issue I had with this concept was actually the payment, the method of payment. I do not want to do anything like Patreon or Fiverr or start a OnlyFans and have videos of me riding my mountain bike in a Speedo. And then I'm also not super enthused about like Cash App or Venmo. The only one I've used consistently throughout my life is PayPal. So I will be starting with just putting my PayPal email out there. And if anybody wants to do that, we can start with that method. But you guys can tell me if that's not something you're interested in. I mean, me personally, I feel like that's the safest one. But maybe you do want one of those ones where it's more of like a public account, essentially. Like with Patreon, I can like have a page and then people can show the I actually don't know what Patreon's like. I assume you can see who makes payments and you write comment. I'm sure there's like a social media aspect to it. I'm not really into that, but if that makes it more engaging and interesting for you guys, I just think that Patreon takes a chunk of your money away from the payment, so I don't know if it's like a great idea. So it's up to you guys if you want. If you don't care, if it's more like a personal payment thing, basically handing me cash, but I'm probably not going to get Venmo or Cash App. I'll probably use PayPal, and if people don't want to use PayPal, then we can try these other things like Patreon or even the Fiverr. I don't know which one's the best one. You guys would have to tell me if you have more experience in that, or I can look it up and try to do research in what sort of fits this best. Also, if my financial situation outside of all this improves, this same concept that I'm doing would essentially just be used for gas money to kind of get out more, ride different places with different people, which is sadly, I've been enjoying doing that lately, but it's been just cost prohibitive, of course, because of the price of gas and gassing up big cars that can transport bikes. It's just been very difficult for me. So again, the theory is this idea of like crowdfunded mountain biking lessons, and I don't even want to stop at lessons. I kind of want just the entire spectrum of what mountain biking is to be involved in it, whether that's filming and taking photos, or whether it's how to trail build and stuff like that. And hopefully in the future, one of my biggest goals would be restarting a bit of a more active advocacy group, because I'm worried that in the future, places like Palos Verdes, I mean, we're already at a state where we're kind of losing trail access here and there, and I'm worried that that could get worse going into the future, especially with the way just California residents and the price of housing is. It's just much more likely that we lose that battle in city councils to actually fight for bike access. And with the e-bikers, which is going to be a very interesting topic, that ultimately people like hikers and equestrians are going to use that as ammunition against bikes in general, to try to get just blanket rules against bikes. So in the event that those conversations come up, we need to have a really good South Bay, Palos Verdes Peninsula advocacy group for biking, and hopefully this can curate that. So on this video, I actually really do need your feedback. Feel free to leave comments and talk about just sort of the idea, the theory, and execution of what I'm thinking, and then most importantly, which payment method or platform is preferred for you guys. Again, I'm just going to link, I hope, my PayPal email in the description. And when you make those friends and family payments, again, just like $5-10, there's no money taken off of that. It's just pure straight into my account. So we could try that if people aren't comfortable with that for some reason, if they just are more engaged by like sort of a public payment, a public social media platform. We can try one of those things. I'll look into which one of those fits me best. But for now, we're just going to use the PayPal until people imply they would prefer to use otherwise. So thanks for listening. Hopefully I'll be able to keep my bike this whole summer, and we can spend the whole summer doing all kinds of lessons and, taking videos and clips and curating a bit of a stronger mountain bike community in the South Bay. Sky.